The idea with this video is to show you another way to make your PCB other than with the toner transfer method, which is very troublesome and time consuming. Of course, to do it this way you need a laser engraver and a CNC motion machine like a 3D printer. It might be possible to do it with a vinyl cutter, but then you had to transfer the vinyl to the copper after cutting it. So I think this is an excellent way to do it quickly and easily, just using your CNC with the laser diode. It's quick and effective, and you can generate the G-code with Aspire or VCAR Pro. So to begin, I had to use this Oracle black vinyl. So it's gonna be a little bit noisy here because of the air conditioning and the laser that is doing the cutting. But as you can see, I'm working on getting this PCB traces cut on the vinyl, and he's doing a pretty good job, I would say. So I think that's gonna be good. Of course, I had to wear these kind of ridiculous glasses. After I did all that cutting with the laser and without the vinyl, and I threw it in the acid, I realized that I didn't press on hard on the vinyl when I was sticking it to the copper. So it started peeling off, so I had to redo the work. Now I'm using ferric chloride dissolving water. I ordered some dry ferric chloride through eBay a few years ago. So every time I need more, I just dissolve a few tablespoons of water to do the job. Depends how strong is your solution. It will get rid of the unmasked copper and will be ready to be drilled. I also purchased this mini drill on eBay. It works great for the job. All we have to do now is just make sure the traces are not touching each other. I usually shine the light through, and if everything is good, it'll be ready to be populated. Everything starts with a sketch, so I can get an idea of the shape and feel of the enclosure. Then I designed the part on Fusion 360 to create the STL file to take to the slicer. Now it takes several hours for the part to print, but once it's done, you can proceed to engrave and cut the acrylic. For these parts, I created the G-code in Aspire, same as the traces, and let the laser do its job. Now I had a few components for the circuit, but not all of them. And this time, I don't want to substitute anything. So I ordered a bunch of resistors and caps, potentiometers, etc. I got most of them, but I'm still waiting for the transistors. Will be here soon, I hope. Meanwhile, I painted the graphics on the acrylic, and I'm putting together the videos while I wait. Hi guys, so finally I got all the components, and I'm going to start populating the board using the component mask of the magazine. We are going to try it and see if we can actually detect this little warble the magazine is talking about. So let me go ahead and turn it on like this. That's how it sounds like. It's a little loud, I don't know. There you go. And now I'm going to close my eyes and see if we detect any variation on the tone. I'm going to turn up the sensitivity a little more. Oh well, it's enough relaxation for today. Anyway, that's what the tremolo sounds like. Hi everybody, this video is brought to you by a nostalgic feeling of a personal nature. It's an electronic project which I did 38 years ago on my college years, in October 1982 to be exact. It's a brainwave monitor that first appeared in Radio Electronics magazine in January 1975. Build a brainwave monitor and tune up your mind. But actually the magazine I got the article from was Popular Mechanics Spanish version. First came out in June 1975. And finally got to do this project as a participation in an electronics fair on my school. That project was my first encounter with the PCB, printed circuit board. And at that time I thought it was easy enough that I could actually do it because the PCB traces, the artwork was already done. All I had to do is just make a copy of it and turn it in so they could imprint it and etch it in the PCB laboratory at the school. They got it done in a few days, and meanwhile I gathered all the components and I put it together, but I could never make it work. Mainly because I couldn't get the electrodes, the tape that you stick into your head, and the IC, I substituted one number for another, and probably I just didn't know what I was doing. So the other day, looking through my journals, I found it, and I said maybe after all this time, it's worth to give it a try again, and maybe this time I can make it work. So finally, I get it done and test it. How do I feel about it? Well, it doesn't matter. What I wanted to do is to complete this project that I started 38 years ago. How do I feel about it? Well, it does work. Not what I was expecting, but it does seem to detect the waves with the wiggly sound when it's detected. It responds to input, and I guess it's something that you have to like practice and have a lot of patience to actually relax with it. And well, it came out pretty good. I mean, it looks real nice and it does work. I mean, I just did whatever they indicated here on magazine. If you get any comments or any questions, just write it down on the comment section below. That's gonna be all for this video. I hope you enjoy it, and see you next time. Bye bye.